In Mokokchung, and across the hill tribes of Nagaland, a name is never just your own. It carries the weight of your clan, your village, your ancestors. Here, identity isn't individual, it's something shared, passed down, and fiercely protected. The self is so deeply woven into family. Reputation and survival are shared, not owned. So when mental illness enters the picture, it's rarely seen as a personal struggle. It becomes something inherited, something in the blood, not a condition of the mind, but a stain on the name. Parents begin to fear not just for their child, but for what it might mean. Marriage proposals that never come, distance from friends and neighbors, a shame that can stretch across generations. And the weight of that judgment is shared by all, siblings, parents, even children not yet born. So many choose silence. Pain is hidden, families speak carefully, if at all, not just out of fear, but out of protection. Because in a place where illness is tied to bloodline, where health and worth are passed down, speaking up feels dangerous. And this is the tension we live with. But some have chosen to speak. In this film, we follow 3 individuals from Mokokchung. One living with schizophrenia, one with bipolar disorder, one with depression. They all live under the same shadow, a culture where illness is hidden and healing means confronting not just the self, but everything around it. These are their stories.
I just want them to know that it is just the mind which is playing tricks on me.
I have this fear that I might get judged by people because of the stigma it carries also. We're just like normal people trying to live our own full lives.
I also sought psychological help. I don't feel strong. I feel extremely weak.
I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. It is a condition where we as patients, we used to hear voices from people around us. And even if there's no one, we can hear voices pointing it out at us. And these are mostly negatives. And then it becomes real. It's as though people are, whatever they are talking, they are speaking about us. And me, I was also involved, I was also part of it. And then I started to hear voices from different places and from people around me. Whatever they were speaking, I heard as though they were talking about me. And then these were all negatives. Everything were negatives.
The day begins with voices no one else can hear. At 23, Marang longs for the ordinary.
Saka tama gitu me chẳng được nang cái mà xì cái nói gì nữa không ngủ ui
Childhood came with too much too soon. He had seen death too early and fights too early. It was only in his 22nd year that the voices arrived, settling into the silence he once craved. Casual conversations twist into elaborate plots.
If I'm seated in a place and there are one or two people seated next to me, whatever they are speaking, it becomes as though they are talking about me, and then they are talking to me that they're saying it to me that I'm not good enough, I am horrible, and I am below expectations. Those are the common words which we used to hear, and all those made me become not only uncomfortable, like I'm becoming mad. Yeah. Once you start hearing those words, it used to go on and on. For me, particularly, it made me sleep deprived. Most of the time, not most, but during that time, those days, I used to hear voices. Those voices, they used to keep on ringing. They used to keep on talking, and people were laughing at me. People were like criticizing me. Those words, like one or two people voices, they were like they are talking with each other, and those words were only pointed out at me, and it kept on till midnight, even till morning, and I would hardly go to sleep, and I was most probably sleep deprived.
For someone living with schizophrenia, the veil between imagination and reality is fragile, and once it tears, the mind does not simply wander, it falls through.
Oi. No.
His words loop and wander like someone lost in a forest path. He slips in and out of reality.
Oi.
The break is visible.
Wrong.
It was like trying to end my life. Most probably suicidal thoughts used to come, like, what if I hang here, or what if I cut myself and let it bleed. Those things you see in movies, where people try to hang themselves or they try to cut self-harm themselves. Those pictures are everywhere, or we can just see. We have that touch. We have that thing in the media, right? Exactly like that. Since we have seen it, we have known. We want to try out that similar scenario. Yeah, similar. How should I say? Thing. Yes.
I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder a few months ago, and I've been taking medication for that ever since.
At 30, her mind never rests. She lives with bipolar disorder.
I feel like having this, it's been really hard on me and like people around me, because sometimes like they find it very difficult to deal with me. Like I'm seen like someone very difficult, so like people around me like find it hard to open up with me or be honest with me because of the fear of like how I might react. And sometimes it hurts me that people like think and feel about me that way.
She never knows when the night terrors will come, but when they do, all that bottled up rage spills out. She fears how people see her, not as a daughter, or a sister, or a friend, but as something broken, maybe even monstrous. Conversations stay with her for weeks, circling back, whispering accusations, placing blame. She calls herself an overthinker, and her family, they just roll their eyes and call her difficult.
这把拿这把苗呀？啊，
那你
拿这把，
就把
呢，拿这把你这弄这边吧的，
拿
这
这
把怎么样了呀？等那我们个拿是这把，
Both are relentless.
拿他你给我们领导我懂了，啊，怎么才了我？
我？
拿谁让我啥进去了？
哎呀，是你红白青那毛把球吧，去哪儿来做啥呀的？
拿啊给我啦，怎么啊没弄
It
的？
is exhausting.
这把说我拿啊，真的
아니
在
비스발
嘛？
나 잡아 기고 내려오다.
为拿那茶把给那俺们茶好，
알라 나나 잡았어.
你为俺那把人茶在
어
把给
열심히
的，
노다야 무슨?
呀，拿那茶把没炒到
앙창. 어.
懂了，是吧？我啥啊进去了里了，把这啊给
니
我
약속
挖
몇
掉。
해나? 딸랑아 도와.
안놀리나
나야
스쿠피가 안놀리나 스쿠피가
니 나야
이바
약속
신즈
몇 해? 니는 낭 약속 몇 해?
니는
낭 약속 몇 해?
那资料的필요 뭐야? 나 그资料的필요 뭐야?
야, 혼내!
야, 자.
It feels like two minds are battling inside her. One reasonable, the other not.
Some days I feel very extreme, like I feel very confident, like all throughout the day I'm very happy and I have so many ideas, like I have so much of confidence, like I can do anything. But some days I feel very low, and sometimes even getting out of the bed feels very like tiring, like something is sitting on me. And then sometimes it even goes on for like days also. So it's like living with two extremes of myself.
Happiness comes too, sudden and overflowing. Laughter, bursts of energy, words tumbling out all at once. Some days, she looks in the mirror and barely recognizes the person staring back. The feeling of being a stranger runs even deeper inside herself. She hates the mood swings, never knowing when she'll turn against the people she loves. And beneath it all, there's a fragile person, longing for kind words and the comfort of a loving home.
I do regret about so many situations. There are so many times when I must have even embarrassed myself also because of my mood swings or hurt people. I wish that people were a bit more patient and understanding with me, because sometimes I might say things that I don't even mean also, and sometimes I can't control myself, so I wish people could understand. But then I don't think everyone is there to, like, I don't know how to.
I'm struggling with depression and mood swings. It starts with being unable to have a normal life, daily tasks, managing things, personal and also relational. It's very difficult, and I don't feel like my old self. I started to become more anxious. I would overthink my health, physical and mental health. It started to deteriorate, and along the way things became worse. it was very difficult for me to manage things. And my energy, my mood, the way I responded to people, even my personality started to change.
As his cup fills with the coffee he drinks every morning, so does his willingness to start the day. He plans for the day, as most people do, but nobody sees how he struggles to take a shower and choose his clothes. It was not always this way. He remembers how he once enjoyed being in the company of others, even offering support that many still remember him for. His friends don't understand why he turns every gathering down, and his family questions who their son is.
People who are undergoing mental health struggles, they are often very sensitive people and also very prone to feeling pity, self-pity, conscious about themselves, paranoid about things. So it's also very difficult for the caregivers, for their friends, family to approach them. Since I'm a shy person, reserved, and I tend not to talk about myself or my problems a lot, I have tried to communicate with my closest relations, my family, my friends. But often they would either dismiss it or think of something else that could be bothering me. So it's been difficult for me. And this would eventually add up to my depression and sadness and anxiety, because I would feel unheard and also be driven to a state of feeling very lonely, abandoned. It has been difficult because, especially with my friends, I became less social. I wouldn't want to go out, spend time with people, because it would take a lot of energy and consideration. For example, suppose I was about to go somewhere, there was a meeting or there was a event. It would take me hours to get ready. I would feel the dread of going somewhere, and even to get ready, to take a bath, to wear clothes, it would take a lot of energy. So eventually, for me, I decided that having people around, especially friends, lots of friends, was more of a burden. So I decided to draw distance between me and them. With my family, it has been difficult because I think they have been the ones who have experienced the brunt of it the most, since they are closest to me and I live with them every day. My sudden outbursts, sudden change in mood,
Everything crashes in as the sun sets. The strength he takes to get out of the house is demanded more during his return. Every step towards home in the evening increases in weight, and this is not normal for any person. At 32, the night stretches endlessly. The chest tightens, vision blurs, the body becomes a cage. Depression is not sadness alone. It is the weight of a body unwilling to rise, of a mind that drifts while the world sleeps. He tries to call people to calm himself down.
For me, I understand depression as a responsibility of the individual and as well as the community, because depression is a personal symptom. However, because of failing societies, communities, families, depression often takes root in the individual. It could also be because of trauma, and of course there's medication, there's therapy, there's support, counseling. But if we have a better community and also healthier families, instances of depression or people with depression would be lesser.
Today, studies show us that mental illness is complex. Genetics can increase the risk, especially in conditions like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. But genes alone do not decide a person's future. Family history may raise the chances, and yet many who have relatives with mental illness never develop it themselves. Life experiences, trauma, and most importantly, support, can shape a person's path just as deeply. And yet in our communities, the old belief remains that to struggle with the mind is to carry something defective within the blood, something that must be hidden, something that casts a shadow on the whole family. This belief drives silence. It isolates the ones who need connection the most. But the truth is different. With care and treatment, people can and do live full lives. Imagine what could happen if silence gave way to support, if families felt safe to speak, if young people could ask for help without fear of shame, if neighbors stood beside each other instead of turning away. A community that chooses understanding over judgment makes space for dignity, for recovery, and for hope. Mental illness is not a curse in the bloodline, but support, healing, and strength. These can run in families too.